Yesterday's price is not today's price.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the F.O.C. Top 10 Show with your host, J-Dub, the Bad Boy Nerd. If you're here live, welcome. As always, welcome for hanging out down in the trenches. Fucking love it. So check it out. There's a lot going on. I wasn't able to do a show the past few weeks because there was so much going on in the world. But I'm back, and I miss you guys when I don't do a show. I love talking about comic books. I love talking about new comic books. I love talking about what's hot. And most importantly, I love being right. No, I'm just messing with you. But no, it is fun to, I'm pulling up some notes here. It is fun to kind of predict what's going to be a hot seller and then put out your list and then get it before the crowd gets to it. It was weird because one of my picks, and we'll talk about that with this stack of books I got. One of my picks was Mad Cave's relaunch of Dick Tracy. And it was crazy because a couple of my stores sold out of Dick Tracy. I didn't think that was going to happen. I thought that was crazy. I was like, damn, Dick Tracy's like a very niche genre, kind of a throwback crime noir genre. But I was like, hey, this might be a hot seller. There's a lot of fans, blah, blah. It's a really, really good read. But yeah, I was kind of surprised. I had my pulls, but I went on the shelf to look for it, and Dick Tracy was gone. And I asked him, I was like, yo, Dick Tracy came out today, right? And they like, yeah. I said, where's it at? And they're like, oh, yeah, we only had like a few for the shelf. The rest were pulls. I was like, oh, snap. Okay, that's cool. Is it going to be a world breaker? That remains to be seen. It was a great read, though. Fans of Dick Tracy were definitely surprised and pleased with what we got. So, with that being said, welcome to the No FOMO Zone. All right. No FOMO Zone. Yeah, we don't have a fear of missing out around here because we're on top of everything. Season 3 of J-Dub's F.O.C. Top 10. Yes, we do speculation. Yes, we make predictions, but also, we just like reading great comic books, right? Absolutely. Let's do this real quick. Shout out to everyone who's watching live. Shout out to Jizzy. Love that name, Jizzy Gillespie. That's awesome. But yeah, before we get into today's top 10, all right, we're going to have a special guest stopping by. I'll announce that soon. But first and foremost, let's take a look at some of the new books that came out this week. Happy New Comic Book Day to everyone from yesterday. So yeah, just right off the bat, I had to get a few of these Mad Cave's Dick Tracy. If you're not familiar with Mad Cave, one of the books that they put out, which was a big seller, was the Robin Hood, the reimagined Nottingham. Dude, amazing book. Nottingham, if you've never read it, it's basically the Robin Hood saga flipped on its head, just turned completely around. Like Robin Hood is just beast mode out there, and the sheriff is like, he's kind of not so much the good guy, but he's kind of trying to bring peace to the land. And Robin Hood is just wrecking shop. So if you haven't read Nottingham, those are the guys. Mad Cave is the ones responsible. They're responsible for this Dick Tracy relaunch. This right here is the 1:20 ratio variant. I love this cover. I pre-ordered it, so I was able to get it like way under ratio value. That's a great cover. Avengers Twilight, awesome read. If you haven't been reading it, you should. This is a great read. Pre-ordered Ultimate Spider-Man. This is the Kale New ratio variant, 1:25. I pre-ordered it. I was able to get it way under ratio value. almost at cover price actually. I picked up The Bloody Dozen. I talk about this all the time. I think this is highly underrated. Definitely flying under people's radar. The Shrouded College is created by Charles Soule, and it's already optioned to be a streaming series by none other than Seth Rogen, the guy. No, not Seth Rogen. Doink. Seth MacFarlane, the guy that created Family Guy. He optioned. So I've been collecting all the Shrouded College books because you never know which ones are going to show up in the show. Plus, it's just a damn good read. Shout out to Charles Soule. Charles Soule, for those who don't know, he's a author. He's a comic book writer and a novelist. He writes a lot of Star Wars novels, and he wrote one of the greatest modern stories of all time, 8 Billion Genies. So let's talk about this. A couple of key issues. Batman Superman annual. If you follow me on my Instagram, right here, point at it right there. Follow me on Instagram. You know I talk about key first appearances, key issues. So this is the first appearance of multiple fifth dimension imps, the Mites, Batmite, Mxyzptlk, all those guys. But this actually debuts a lot of hero mites. Like everyone's got their own mite. Wonder Mite, Green, Arrow Mite, Flash Mite, all of them. Night Mite's one of my favorite. But yeah, and the villains. So some of the publications you'll see online, they might have this as the first appearance, but that is actually incorrect. Still a great read. World's Finest, Batman Superman World's Finest, number 26. Great read, but if you're interested, they actually make a major, like the first story is literally about the superhero imps, along with the villain imps. They all make a major appearance in Batman Superman World's Finest Annual 2024. First of all, Mark Waid, what he does with this story, and Cullen Bunn, the horror writer, yeah, and Dan Morrow on the art, dude, forget about it. They've been killing it on Batman Superman World's Finest. They've been absolutely killing it on this series, going all the way back to issue number 1. So definite pickups. I like where the story arc is going with the mites. I did pick this up. This is another F.O.C. top 10 pick. I got way under ratio. Pre-ordered. Spectacular Spider-Man, number 2, 1-25 ratio. Beautiful cover. I love all the webbing. I feel like I showed these already. I did. Yeah. Hulk, Ghost Rider, Spider-Woman. Yeah, I showed these. So let's get to, I got a little bit of news I want to share with you guys before we even get to the top 10. So, first of all, let's talk about how some of the top 10 picks from the past have performed in the aftermarket. So check this out. I know you guys who follow me and watch my show like faithfully, you already know that this was one of my picks. But I do like to check online to see how certain books performed. And this one right here, I'm going to blow this up. The X-Men Forever, number 2, Arthur Adams, the 1-25. What do I always tell you guys? Arthur Adams are always hot, especially when you get a ratio. Pre-orders, you probably could have got those around ratio value. If you do kind of a pull box with your LCS, what I mean is maybe they order 25 or 20 copies, and you say, hey, I'll buy 2 cover prices to bump it up to a 25. Or just say, hey, if you order 25 of these, can I get the ratio? Depending on how how early you can do it. Bottom line is, if you do it early enough, hence 5 weeks early, you could probably snag some ratios at cover price. I always have people hit me up in my DMs, and they're like, yo, I found such and such cover, got that cover price. It's a real thing, and it works. You have to be committed. You have to shoot those emails out early. Try to be earlier than everyone. Usually 4 to 5 weeks is pretty early. Right around F.O.C. is about the time. But yeah, I mean, double cover price, aftermarket, $45, $50. I kind of knew it was going to do something like that. That's just a very sexy mystique by Arthur Adams. His ratios usually, yeah, that's pretty obvious. His ratios usually go at a very strong price. But then also, if you follow my show, you remember this other one. This is another pick. I mean, there it is. Jackpot, Black Cat #2. This was, for those who watched the show, this was the week that had like 5 or 6 out of the top 10. There were like 5 or 6 ratios. Arthur Adams was on there twice. I mean, look at that. Double ratio price, 50, 50, 50, 50, 45, 60, 65. I mean, people really love these Adams covers. And this is why, if you're watching, you're like, dude, this guy has another Arthur Adams cover on his on the show. Like, yeah, man, these are hot. People love Arthur Adams, especially when they're ratios. They're fun to hunt them down. So yeah, man, those went for a pretty wait a minute, Larry David, pretty good price. Yeah. Who watched the speaking of Larry David, who watched the Curb Your Enthusiasm finale? That shit was funny. I'm a huge Curb Your Enthusiasm fan. I watched the finale when he was I don't no spoilers or anything, but it was very similar to the Seinfeld finale, but that was kind of the story arc and the final season building up, where Larry is kind of a lawbreaker and they're trying to send his ass to jail. But that finale episode was hilarious, and it was the perfect way to end one of the funniest, greatest shows ever, Curb Your Enthusiasm. Pretty good. I like when he's trying to figure out if someone's telling the truth or not. He's all like, great show. All right, so comic book news. First of all, one of the books that was going to be on this week's top 10 show, but as you know, sometimes books get pushed back, sadly. Case in point, what's the guy, Kid Venom? That book's been pushed back twice. I think it was supposed to actually come out already. It's been pushed way out to God knows who when. And it was supposed to be earlier on one of my, I think, January or February F.O.C. shows. I pushed it out to March. It got pushed back again. I think I premiered it on one of my shows last month, but it got pushed even further out to, like, who knows? I don't even think it has a release date. But that actually happened to another book. This one right here. And by the way, if anyone's reading this book, you absolutely know that this is great. Hold on, I just got an alert that my laptop's dying. Hang on. It would be crazy if I'm in the middle of something awesome and this just cuts off. Let me get my power cord real quick. See, this is why I have my laptop battery alert set at like 10%. Give me enough time to react. There we go. Juice. Juice? Okay, good. Juice. Okay. Emergency averted. Cool. Yeah, so as I was saying, this is one of the dopest stories I've read in quite a while. If anyone's out there reading this, Batman Gargoyle by Night is fucking phenomenal. Brazilian, I think it's Brazilian artist, Rafael Grandpa. Dude, this dude he's the right, he wrote it and did the art. Bruh, this is incredible. Gargoyle by Night, or excuse me, Batman Gargoyle of Gotham is amazing. You should definitely check it out. So with that being said, I was going to include this in today's top 10, but sadly, it got pushed back. So let's talk about that real quick. Here we go. So yeah, Batman Gargoyle of Gotham #3 was supposed to be making a debut. The release date got pushed all the way out to July. But yeah, Black Label, guys, check it out. Raphael Grandpa, what he's doing with this story is incredible. So it introduces this incredible brand new villain. You just got to read it. And also, it's introducing this new character called Little Joker, which has been getting some buzz building up. Little Joker is supposed to debut, but it's been pushed back. So the initial release date, I believe, was in May. It's getting pushed back to July. So this is one of those books where I had it on my list and I had to take it off my list and replace it. But the heat is still there. It's still going to show up eventually, sometime probably in May or June. But yeah, keep your eyes out for that. This gets definite recommendation to read Gargoyle of Gotham if you haven't. Take my advice. If you're a Batman fan, you have to read this. But anyway, that's just a little bit of comic book news there. So, with that being said, before we get into this week's top 10, which is pretty dope, by the way, we're going to bring on a special guest, none other than the arch enemy supervillain. I don't even know if he's a supervillain. I think he's just misunderstood. He's kind of like a Victor Doom. I visited his lab recently, and he got to show me the public side of it. I didn't get to see the bowels of the laboratory. But, folks, he is the real thing. He is the comic book sorcerer supreme, none other than Dr. Paul.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you.
What's going on,
as
man?
always, for that introduction.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And I feel like I still don't do justice based on what you do. People, I don't think people really understand exactly what it is you do.
I'm just trying to help people, J-Dub.
It's so modest.
It's
so
pretty simple.
Fucking modest. Yeah, so modest. Yeah. For those who tuned in,
How
was it
you
like?
been?
No, well, I was going to say, but for those who tuned in on our last show, I got to visit you at your lair, and that was quite the adventure.
So, the lab, yeah, we had to sign you in per FDA regulations, and you got to see where some of the magic happens. Yeah, where we're developing novel cell therapies.
Oh wow, yeah.
Trying to help.
And one of my questions was, is it approved by the United States FDA, and B, does it work in conjunction with like stem cells here in the States or overseas? But I've said enough. I've already said too much.
Well, it was great to see you, and I picked up a project book from you, or you brought me. You dropped off a project book.
That's right.
And I'm happy to say it's ready for pickup. It's looking beautiful in a slick new Mylar, and it's let's get together again. If you can pry it out of my hands.
Get that closer to the camera. Look at the gloss. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen. So tell everyone, if this is their first time meeting you, what it is you do with comic books, because you can explain it way better than I can.
Yeah, well, I can do straightforward, Jay, maybe you can throw up those images I sent you of the book as I'm talking. Maybe not.
I don't have it ready for that, so okay. Go ahead.
So, yeah, I do regular clean and press stuff, but what I really am interested in, what I'm really passionate about, is comic book conservation. And so conservation is a science that goes back. It was actually being practiced empirically 1,000 years ago by librarians who were trying to preserve the written word. And now it's practiced by museum curators and librarians principally, but also paper scientists and other people. And there's a small group of us that are applying those scientific methods to comic books. And CGC has been a leader in this. Back in 2014, they came up with the conserved label. And one of the books back here is actually conserved. And what that allows for is, of course, everybody understands universal label. And I think most people understand restored or restoration label. Conserved allows for you to do some of the things that used to be considered restoration, but that are actually archival in nature, and they're recognized by the scientific community as the proper way to conserve paper. And so CGC says, why should we punish people for doing this? And back in 2014, they created that conserved category. They have updated it a few times since, and it's basically kind of a little known thing. And so there's really still to this day not very many books in CGC's census that are conserved, certainly relative to the total number of comics out there. And one of the things we do is we talk about the fair market value of a conserved book. What should it be worth? And of course, there's all kinds of opinions on that. So in our live show, I work with two other comic book conservationists, Larry over at Flying Owl Comics, he's here on YouTube, and Phil over at Phantom Restoration, who doesn't have a YouTube channel but is in on Instagram. And we have that live show Sunday evenings, 8:35 Eastern. And every Sunday, we just talk about what's going on in conservation, what projects we're working on. This week coming up, we're going to have a really exciting show. A copy of Batman 12 conserved just sold within 60 days of a Universal Label 1 selling. And so we have a perfect sort of snapshot. They both sold on Heritage. So we have a perfect snapshot to say, what is the fair market value of a conserved book relative to a Universal book? I don't want to give it away. That's going to be our lead-in segment. And then this Sunday.
Universal's Blue Label.
Blue.
Restored is
purple.
Conservation is.
Conservation looks actually just like Universal, but it has a gray stripe across the top.
Okay, good.
So one of those books up there is actually, let's see, that one there is actually conserved, but it looks Blue Label because they wanted to make it so that you could tell, but also it's not glaring. Again, we're doing stuff that's archival and recognized by museum curators and librarians and paper scientists as the proper way to preserve something. CGC doesn't want us punished for that, right? We want to preserve these books so that they're here for the next generation.
There's a certain merit to conserved books, correct? Like there should be.
So I think it depends. It's a fascinating subject. So I think it depends on what the conservation work was that was done. I think there's an argument that if it was a light conservation and it was done really to preserve the book for future generations, not to correct some defect, I think you could reasonably make the argument it ought to be worth more than Universal. Because 100 years from now, if you had two books and they're exactly the same, one's been conserved, one hasn't, and they don't, the conservation didn't include correction of defects. It was just conservation, deacidifying, etc. 100 years from now, one of those is still going to be in that same pristine state. The other one is going to be degenerated because, newsprint was only designed to last for 50 years. So we're already pushing it with all these golden age books. And 100 years from now, if we don't do something about it, the paper will literally eat itself. It literally destroys itself from the inside out. So you have to do something if you want to preserve it.
You're on the cusp.
Yeah.
We talked about this. You're on the cusp of an emerging market, what you're doing.
We'll see whether or not it's an emerging market over time, but we're certainly the sharp end of the spear. There are not very many people doing it. And we're trying to build some momentum, get the word out, share ideas, and be collaborative. That's our main intention and purpose and goal. This collaboration.
This is what I see the comic book industry kind of doing like that. The 90s, remember the 90s, that spike? It just kind of.
Yeah, I do.
Then it flatlined. And then the early 2000s had another spike, right? Mm-hmm. And then maybe the 2010s kind of, but then the price, $5 books, $6 books, $7 books.
Yeah.
Kind of, I don't know. We'll see. But that market right there, like you said, the degeneration mark for golden age books that are right now currently 70 years old?
75 to 85. I mean, I've got, right here's a book. This is a restored book that I recently got in an auction.
That's Phantom Stranger.
The Spectre. The Spectre.
One of his earliest.
This is from 1942.
What is that number?
Actually 1940. So this is already 84 years old.
And that's a 6?
It's a 6 restored, and I bought it because I'm one of the things we do is restoration removal. And so I think it's a good candidate to have the restoration removed and put into a conserved label. And I think we would create a lot of equity if we do that. That book, if that was universal label, $5,000 book all day, maybe you're probably, if you're an owner of it, you're probably asking 8, and trying to get 7,500 in an open auction for starting at $1. I think it's easily a $5,000 book if it's universal. So I bought it for a steep discount because it's restored, and I'm going to try to put it into a conserved label, and then I will have basically closed a lot of that gap and created a lot of that equity for myself. So
because with
and saved a book.
They have to tell you on the label what the restoration does, what it was.
To be fair, it's not all on the label. Sometimes some of it is in the grader's notes, but one way or the other, you have all the information as a buyer. Yeah.
Nice.
So we talk all things conservation, restoration, and even, like I said, restoration removal. A lot of people are interested in restoration removal, not only because you can increase the fair market value of your collectible, but also because some of the restoration techniques are actually destructive long-term. And so you want to undo them so that you can preserve that book, right? So that's, since you asked, that's what I do.
Oh no, yeah, that's awesome. This is why I have you on the show, man.
On Sunday, Sunday we're gonna talk fair market value of a conserved Batman 12 that just sold, and then we're going to we have a segment on 2 books that were conserved. They're both pre-code horror books that are coming back from CGC. We're doing an unboxing on those 2. Those are from Larry's channel, and then we also have a long-term restoration removal project. So how do you, just exactly like this, buy a book at a steep discount that's been restored, remove the restoration, get it in a conserved label, preserve the book, create a whole bunch of equity, have fun while you're doing it.
Dude, it's so awesome.
So hopefully people join that if they're interested.
That is amazing, man. That's awesome, dude. That's awesome. When you told me about what you like, the arena that you're playing on, you're like, I'm here. I'm just a guy talking about new books, speculation. You're off the charts, man. This is like above omega level mutant.
One of the things that I don't do is I don't rank the sub hobbies within the hobby. I think whatever someone enjoys is the best one, right? I know.
I rank that shit.
But I think that's important because people are like slabbing stupid, or other people are like, why would you ever buy a raw book, right? Like,
you're right,
hey man, there's room for everybody to enjoy the part of the hobby they like, Let's all be, we all have one thing in common. We all have a love of these.
We love comic books.
Yeah. Right. And so let's embrace the common ground, and let's find common cause and work together, man. That's a big part of why I'm interested in the conservation, is just the camaraderie and helping one another. So that's why we do what we do. And by the way, I was looking again at that Daredevil, and also I was looking at that.
You do have it right now. Is it nearby?
The X-Men 12. It's a little walk away for me. But that X-Men, the Juggernaut that you left with me.
Yes.
I think I'm going to do a full wet submersion bath on that X-Men. I think it's got potential because the inside of that cover is tanned, but you've already got a tide line from where it got wet once. So we're going to get it wet again. And
those are old flea market finds.
Yeah, isn't that awesome?
It is.
I love those. I love those kind of like beat up Silver Age books. I like my high grade too, but there's something more nostalgic about the beat up Silver Age books. They feel more loved and I don't know.
You know what? Maybe we should just fucking reverse ship and just beat it up more and try to get a 1.0 because those are hot. Fucking 1.0 to 1.5 is its own market.
I'll let you do that part of the project. I'll farm that out to you.
Right here, I'll just. Good stuff.
So we're gonna get together soon. I'll get this this ASM 15 back to you and wherever I'm at. Actually, I'm gonna have your first appearance of the Sentinels will be ready for you too. So I'll give you those two if you want to meet soon, and if you want to put it off a little bit, I'll get those others back to you. So we'll see. Those are hammock tasks for me because I've got so much going on, but happy to do it.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. Are you going to stick around?
By the way, I don't know if you want to do this before you jump into your countdown, but I also brought hip hop covers to show off.
All right, do it. Let's do it. How many you got?
Just two. Just two.
Oh yeah, come on, show them, man.
Okay. So this one here. This is one of my favorites for sure. You'll be familiar. It's Hawkeye #1. This is Kate Bishop's first, right? And this is the Black Alicious homage. And I just love this one. It's not a real expensive one, but I love Kate Bishop. I love this composition of the cover. The purple and the black really work. And that's one of my favorites. And it's a good entry-level book. You don't have to pay an arm and a leg for it, right?
Yeah, no, it's not. It's obviously not the Miles Morales Nas one. It's not up there.
Right. Here's my favorite, though.
What we got? Oh yeah. There we go. Now we're talking. I flipped a couple of those last year for a nice. That's a 9.8. That's brilliant. That black cover.
Yeah.
Dude, that's one of the best.
Jeff DeCall, Jessica Jones.
Oh, God. Yeah, that's one of the best. Good job.
That one's my favorite. Yeah. I mean, there's rarer ones. There's ones you'll pay more for. There's bigger keys,
Well, the Jane Foster MF Doom. Oh, love that one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's some real good ones, but I just thought I'd show those off.
Yeah, the Jessica Jones. That's one. I think I still got. I flipped a few of them, but I got my own copy buried somewhere over there.
I hope you do. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good one. And the hip hop covers, those came out when I was not collecting. Otherwise, if I was doing top 10 back then, oh shit, they would have been #1. Yeah, I would have been
every one of them, right? You've been like, here's my poll list. Here's the 15 I need this week.
Yeah, we did that with New Champions. New Champions, I told you guys, like every week, get all of them. Look at them. They're starting to roll them out.
You got I want to say it's like 143 hip hop covers they did. It's a big number, and some of them are crazy rare. We're talking single digits in the census rare, right? Because they were crazy incentive. You had to buy 150% of issue number 3 that you had of issue number 1, and it just like nobody unlocked them, or hardly anyone.
Someone was asking me about this on Instagram. Someone who looks at the pretty pictures but doesn't read the liner notes. I always put liner notes every Friday. Spider-Man #6 is the sneaky key debut of the New Champions team. The Alliance, what's it called? You
let everybody know like 3 weeks ago.
No, 4 or 5 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah, actually, I was just about to correct myself. You're right. It was longer than that.
Yeah. That was it was a sneaky key. Final page, final panel, but it counts. It counts.
Cool.
Yeah. And I said, I was doing some reading, and I read like one little blurb, and I said, oh shit, Spider-Man 6, and it's still not fully out in the ether. Like people still aren't picking up on it, and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I told you. You'll find out later when it blows up. Whatever. I got a few of them here, so. Anyway, that's why we do this, Dr. Paul. This is why we do this.
Yeah, let's get into it.
All right, here we go. F.O.C. Top 10 is starting off right now.
The best F.O.C.
So excited. With that being said, now this is not one of the bigger weeks because it's almost free comic book day, but it's still something to pay attention to. So with that being said, let's kick it off with some cover fire. How about it?
Woo!
I know, just right off the bat. I mean, Scarlet Witch relaunch. It's fucking beautiful cover, man. Good Lord. That is a gorgeous cover. This is a 1:25 ratio. Easy get. Easy get. Put your request in now. When it drops, it's a relaunch. It's a #1. Most shops are going to order at least 25 copies because it's a brand new #1.
Yeah.
Scotty Young is launching the big Marvel Big, where it's just like a single large shot of each hero. All right.
Wow.
It's called the Scotty Young Big variants. This is one of the first ones. So top corner, Scotty Young, open order. Just request the Scotty Young Big variant. Bottom is the 1:50 sketch. I'm telling you now, something tells me that's going to be hot.
Yeah.
Something tells me. You try to find it early, you could probably get it under ratio, something under $50. I think these big young sketch variants are going to be pretty hot.
Wow.
But that 1:25, man.
This is on the left. This is the 1:25. So you're not showing us cover A. You're showing us an open order variant Scotty Young, and you're showing us the 1:25 and the 1:50. Who is the artist on this 1:25?
The artist on one, man, that's a good question.
It looks like the facial features look familiar, but I can't place it. This is.
Throw out who you think it is. See if you get it right.
I have no idea. I'm looking at it. I've seen this kind of artist before.
Oh, okay. All right, let's pull it up real quick. That artist is Alexander Lozano.
Okay, I'm glad I didn't guess. I would have been a fool.
But that is
beautiful.
That is a gorgeous cover.
I read the last Scarlet Witch ongoing series, and I wanted to like it, and it was just not that good. Like, I wasn't shocked that it was canceled, right? I really want this character to have a great ongoing, so I hope it works out for her.
It started pretty strong. It introduced some what I call some respectable villains to keep the character occupied. But
the last ongoing?
The last ongoing, yeah.
Yeah. I agree with that. And then it just got weird and not interesting to me anyway.
Yeah. It just went somewhere I just was
still had great covers. All the way through had great covers, right?
The interiors were great. Covers were amazing. Yeah, the covers were amazing. It had some Adam Hughes covers. Those were awesome.
Yeah.
No,
good luck to Scarlet Witch. This just looks like a great start, and I'm with you. I love this 1:25, man. Wow.
Absolutely, yeah. Let me see who's.
I like the new logo too. That's a strong logo.
Let me see who's writing this new one. Pull that up real quick. Let's see here. New one's being written. Oh, same guy, Steve Orlando. Jesus. All right. Well, I guess we're going to get more of the same.
Well, you never know.
He's like, All right.
Not everyone can be a hit. Not every at bat is a home run.
Coming in at number 9. You're going to love it, folks. I'm probably one of the few people who really push for these Archie books. It's such a niche series. I just love collecting them. I admit it's personal for me. I love collecting the Archie keys.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is doing a kind of a tribute to old school blockbuster movies. As you can see right here, you got a Rambo, you got kind of a Kill Bill, kind of a Ghostbusters. But here's the catch. It introduces a new Archie character that is based off of Deadpool called Pool Noodle. Apparently, they invented a Archie Deadpool character specifically to break the fourth wall in Archie comics, and that debut takes place in this new series here. So I figured it'd be worth a little something to throw it on the top 10. And it's one of those little sneaky niche things that has a little appeal. People catch on later, and they're like, "Oh, when did that happen? What issue?" Where do you
Hey,
go?
I'm with you. I told you I own a couple of Archie books from the 50s that are highest graded in census.
Oh, nice.
And I have a Canadian price variant of Cheryl Blossom's first appearance. So
Cherry,
yeah.
right? Cherry
Yeah.
Blossom, is that it?
Cheryl, but yeah.
Cheryl? Oh,
You can
okay.
call her Sherry. I think she'll answer to it.
Good. That's what I'm talking about. What's up, Cherry girl? Cherry baby.
Yeah, Canadian price variant, man.
Yeah, man. I have a collection of Archie keys in my and I use the term Archie keys loosely, but they are a bunch of first appearances, and yeah, gotta love them. And here's the thing: a lot of stores either don't order them or order a handful and stick them in the kiddie section.
Yeah.
So they kind of have this weird value to them where later on the characters pop up more prominent, and people are like, "Where do you even find those?" Well, you find them here on my show.
Exactly
Coming
right.
in at number 8. So, yeah, dude, the first issue was pretty dope. This is Darth Maul number 2, black, white, and red. Marquez variant. Yes, David Marquez. Stunning.
Wow.
1 in 25 ratio. It's kind of hard to make Darth Maul look bad. So
Right. Yeah.
he usually looks great.
Right.
But this Marquez is exceptional, in my opinion.
I agree. That's so good. That actually, that fight scene in Phantom Menace is actually called, the song is called The Duel of Fates, and that fight scene is called The Duel of Fates, right? This
That's
looks
right.
like it was ripped right out of Duel of Fates.
Bingo. That's why I love it. The pose. I think Marquez was thinking the same shit.
Beautiful.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Imagine being Obi-Wan, still a Padawan, just had your master struck down, and this guy's coming at you, man.
No.
Whew.
I think he haunted Obi-Wan's dreams.
But
Obi-Wan got that get back, though. If you watch Rebels, he got that get back.
Oh, I know. But Obi-Wan just is like centers himself, meditates when the wall is there. Man, that's the stuff right there. I know there's a lot of haters on Phantom Menace, but I actually think that's the best lightsaber fight maybe in all 9 movies. It's so good. Well, I think if you take the combination of the lightsaber fight and the music, it's untouchable.
I think people wanted more from that fight because of what Darth Maul represented. It felt a little short. Now, my favorite, since you brought it up,
I want to hear
Anakin versus Obi-Wan. That was epic. That was like a 20-minute fight.
True.
Yeah, but this, everyone, obviously, yes.
Don't do it, Anakin. I have the high ground. Yeah. I just recently rewatched A New Hope, and all the scenes where Alec Guinness is telling Luke about his father, and I kept like talking over the movie like, yeah, last time I saw him, I cut him in half. I left him burning in the ashes on Mustafar, but yeah, here he wanted you to have his lightsaber. He didn't actually say that. I picked it up off Mustafar when I cut him in half.
Well, when you watch, what was the new series, the Obi-Wan series, he was just fed up with Anakin. He had enough of him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was just like, yo, fuck this kid.
Yeah.
He's like, I like that when they have their final battle, and he's like, all right, Darth.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, hey, check that out. Number 7. Look, Nightwing, Tom Taylor. Dude, he's been writing the hell out of Nightwing since he took over.
Wow.
And new story arc. Anyone who's watching it, Dick Grayson is really struggling. He's got a villain, Heartless, who's been the main bad guy for the past 2 years, and he's giving him shit. So, yeah, Dick Grayson's going through some things right now. Definitely worth a read. New story arc right here.
Cool.
But, yeah, Dick Grayson's just trying to rediscover himself. Gorgeous. All the covers are great.
Yeah.
The Nightwing motif, the 1 in 25.
These are both going to be the high quality paper stock too. The beautiful DC.
Every time.
Yeah. These are
time.
easy 9/8 as long as they don't have corner crunches.
You know what I have several 9/8 candidates of? The Nightwing relaunch.
Ooh.
Yeah, that hot book that goes for like $40.
Mm-hmm.
All I have several of those, all high grades. Um,
Nice.
the first issue of Heartless, for some reason, the Pride variant is people really love that Pride variant. I have like
Sure.
three. Yeah, I flipped like five of those. I still have like three left.
Nice.
Yeah, dude, they just sat on the shelf forever. I'm like, fuckers, y'all want to grab this? I'll take them.
Yeah. I mean, I'm old school. I got Tales of the New Teen Titans number 44, so I got I got Dick Grayson covered. I also have the original Nightwing, his first ongoing Nightwing number 1, where they introduced Bloodhaven, where he
Yeah,
leaves Gotham.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good one, man.
That's classic. Yeah.
That's a good
It's
one.
classic now.
Speaking of, dude, so Josh Williams has been killing it on the Superman book. Like just the whole relaunch with Superman.
Yeah.
I don't even like Superman as a character. I've been reading the hell out of this book.
Nice.
Oh yeah. So you've been following everything with House of Brainiac, Brainiac Queen. You guys ordered the first appearance, Brainiac Queen, 1065.
If they didn't, it's on them. You told them, man.
2 months ago, actually. I gave him a heads up 2 months ago. The Brainiac Queen. The free comic book day show, I don't think you were on that one, right? Did you?
I
Did you get
missed
it?
that one. Yeah, I couldn't make
Okay.
that one. We were driving to Houston to do something for state robotic competition for my daughter.
Okay, that's fine. DC's special edition for Free Comic Book Day pretty much confirms Brainiac Queen is here to stay. Failsafe is here to stay. They're prominent on the cover for the next big event going forward. Debut storyline right here. Very great.
Nice.
Williamson,
You got the
Josh
main
Williamson.
man too.
Oh, good lord! All the Sarnians that were thought to be dead, all for all this continuity, going all the way back to Omega Man 3. The
Mm-hmm.
Sarnians are actually here. Brainiac kept some alive in a bottle city. He's unleashing them on Metropolis. Yeah, it's a juicy story.
Nice.
Yeah, and then just for funsies, this gorgeous photogenic kind of AI looking Cohen variant of Lois Lane. I just thought it was beautiful. I figured people might want to see it. There
Very
it is.
cool. It is
Very
photorealistic.
absolutely.
It doesn't
Yeah, I
say
think
Lois Lane to me though, if I'm being honest.
it says what it says is, hey, AI, make me a hot young, uh, kind of a young version of Lois Lane for the
Yeah.
modern times. And it's spit
Maybe
this.
we're going like yeah, like if she's in a teen sort of drama with like she's in love with a vampire and a werewolf and she's in high school or something, maybe. Sorry. I do see she's got a press badge, so she must be an adult.
Let's call this the press badge variant. All right. Moving on to number 5. Dude, I love Dan Slott's Spider Boy. I love it. I don't care what anyone says about the character, Bailey Briggs. I think it's great. It's classic, just classic Marvel Stan Lee storytelling. It's dramatic. It's slightly campy. It's action packed. I love it. This is a Raza variant, man. 1 in 25 Raza.
Beautiful. The covers you've been showing me actually kind of remind me of Ultimate Spider-Man when it like from 20 years ago, where they were redoing all the stories. And like you say, it's a little campy. It's more fun. It doesn't have all the baggage. It's a good place for new readers to jump in. And even the covers, you remember those covers were very much, they were all like poster covers, right? There was no dialogue box. There was nothing about what was actually going to happen in the comic other than maybe the characters from the comic would be on the cover, maybe not.
Right.
And so these covers where it's just basically a poster is very, to me, reminiscent of that series. And of course, that was a runaway hit and it was a great series, right? I mean, it was a quick read, an enjoyable read, and you were left wanting more every month and waiting for the next one to come.
Absolutely, man. Well said. Yeah, Dan Slott is pulling double duty on Spider-Boy and Superior Spider Superior Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
And Spider-Boy makes an appearance, obviously, in his and that one as well. Excellent reads, man. Like I said, classic Marvel manner storytelling. I love it. I'm a huge fan of that. We needed that.
Yeah.
We needed it.
Yeah.
Everything can't be a world-ending epic tie-in.
Exactly. Yeah.
Number 5. Number 4. Look at this. Dude. Spider-Punk's been killing it with the covers, just the cover alone.
Right? Yeah.
Ghost Rider,
So much
Spider-Punk. I'm totally digging Hobie as Ghost Rider. Please make this happen.
What?
And then the return of Gleason with an incredible variant. Gleason is back.
I haven't gotten past this Stormbreaker cover. There's a motorcycle too. So there's a motorcycle, a guitar, right. The chains, the skull, the spikes, the leather. It's full on.
Dude, I have some. The most recent ones.
Wow.
You know what? Oh, look at this. Here we go. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Stormbreaker.
Oh yeah.
That is a symbiote Spider-Punk.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, come on, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
He's been killing it lately.
Yeah. I do like these. Stormbreakers have been open order, and this has been going on for a couple years now, right?
Oh, yeah, like 3, 4, or 5 years, actually. Probably even longer.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, no, but Patrick Gleason, yeah, that's a great cover right there.
Wow.
Both of them. All right, cracking the top 3. Here we go. Kanto is back.
Ooh.
Kanto, I know, the Clockwork Knight. This guy is just basically Boer, I think that's how you say his name. He's just been making his bones just on this character alone. Like, Kanto
so this is a new ongoing?
Yeah, and it's part of a multi-part saga, so this is the final part of that overall saga.
Okay. We've had like several limited series to date, right, for Kanto?
Yeah, absolutely. Each one's like 4 or 5 issues, but
yeah,
Boer and Zucker, dude, they kill it. It sells out so fast. The main cover, sells out so fast.
I enjoy these art styles too.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean the A cover here. This is reminiscent of the interior, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah,
for sure. That bottom corner, that's David Mack.
Yeah, of course it is. I can see it.
Yeah, David Mack on Kanto. How about that? That's a 1 in 10.
That is something.
Most shops probably won't even order 10 of these, so put the feelers out to try to get that 10 at a cover price.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, man. I mean,
Mack's
I don't know how often. Oh, come on, that goes without saying. But how often does he get on such a indie type book like this? You know,
right? I can't think of any. I'm sure there are examples, but
yeah, this new Kanto series looks pretty badass, man. I'm just looking at some of the solicits for it.
So before we move on, so this cover B says it's a Mac 1 in 10, and then oh, I see. That's just cover B. So cover B is open order, and then that text is for the one below.
Booyah!
Got it. Okay, yeah, beautiful.
All right, so I was talking about a major debut of a series, and here it is. So we all know that Ninja Turtles, their epic multi-year, almost a 15-year run for IDW just ended, and they're about to just relaunch it again with Jason Aaron writing. I can't even wrap my head around what that's going to feel like.
You know what else is going on?
What's that?
We're getting an adaptation for the screen of The Last Ronin too.
R-rated.
The way it ought to be. The way it should have always been.
Did I show you what I have? I think I showed you, right? Talk to the people while I dig it up real quick.
All right. Well, I'll tell a little story. I was 12 years old in 1984, and I went into one of the very first comic book shops in Bay City, Michigan. And I went in, of course, looking for New Teen Titans and the latest issue of X-Men and maybe some Miller Daredevil. And his fool said, "Nah, man, you don't want none of that. You want Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles." And I said, "Come on now. I want X-Men. I want New Teen Titans. I don't know what you're talking about." He said, "Well, let me educate your son." And he said, "It's in issue number 3 right now. I got first print of issue 3. Issue 2 and issue 1 sold out in minutes. And so I've got third print of issue 1 and I got second print of issue 2. You can buy all 3 of them $4.50 plus tax, and do yourself a favor and do it." I said, "All right." So I bought Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 3 fresh off the shelf, first print, and I got the other 2 in reprint. I still own them, of course. And of course, I went home and was absolutely blown away by Eastman and Lard and the black and white and how not for kids it was, right? I mean, those were not Comics Code Authority books. No. Of course, they commercialized it for kids, and I'm not mad at them. You know, they found the market that they needed to keep the franchise going. But I'm really glad they're continuing a tradition of at least some of the stories being for adults, because that's where it was born. And these characters really lend themselves to that kind of storytelling. Yeah. And so this is awesome. And I'm really psyched for The Last Ronin.
6 months ago, great story, by the way. 6 months ago, I walked into one of my big shops here in Austin, and I saw this sitting on the shelf, and just out of curiosity, I was like, "Oh, wow, you guys got that. How much you want for it?" "Oh, that's what you want for it? Yeah, give me that. Give me that fucker right now. You fucked up. Give me that."
Ooh, what?
Yes, sir.
No.
Yes.
How many in census?
Of that one, I want to say a little over 100. Feel free to look it up.
I'm looking up right now.
Yeah, look it up right now.
What?
The price they had for that, I said, "You can't hand me that fast enough. You fucked up. Give it to
me." Break your arm off throwing it at me.
It's already doubled as of now. As of the announcement, it already doubled overnight what I paid for that.
What?
And I know the glare killed it, but
it is the first print, right?
It's a first print. Yes, first print, cover A, 9.9.
Is it basically same cover for like their fourth print and some of the others?
Yeah, no, this is a 10/20, October 20th, first print, main cover.
Wow.
Yeah.
30-day average is $561.
Yeah, that's not what I paid for it at all.
Actually, I'm surprised though. Census shows 23 10.0s and 344 99s.
Oh, that's great.
That must be some beautiful paper to get that many high grade copies into the census.
Well, it really is. I mean, it's high quality.
Wow.
Very high quality.
Oh, but man. I love it.
In terms of census, I mean, it's far lower than a lot of high census books that routinely sell big. You know what I mean?
Mm. You mean overall population?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's actually the overall population. Yeah. Only 3,600. Yeah.
Right.
No, that's a high population for a 99. I mean, there's some books that have 0 99s in the census, right?
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Having over 300 99s means they were printed on beautiful paper. They were printed by a company that cares, and they were delivered much better than what the normal Marvel fare and even for that matter, Image or Dark Horse. But yeah, overall only 3,600 for such an important book. I think that's a big deal. And you're right, that's not a lot of supply for something that's about to be adapted and have a whole new huge fan base. There's people going to learn that Turtles aren't just for kids, and they're going to be blown away, and they're going to be looking for that book.
First appearance of Casey Marie Jones.
Yeah. That's going to be fun. Wow, what a pickup. Congratulations. I love it.
Thank you. Yeah, it's funny because now with that 9.9, they have a 9.8 on the wall, and they want what I paid for this is what they want for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cha-ching. All right. So anyway, yeah, this is the alpha relaunch of the new series, which will have a preview of what's coming. So as we know, key issues, the previews count as first appearance key issues. So Ninja Turtles Alpha, prelude to this summer's relaunch.
So this is like a issue 0 or -1 or something like that. Alpha.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cool.
Keep an eye out for that. Cover A, cover B.
That'll be fun.
All right. So number one. Number one, it's not a world breaker, but again, Superman is on fire right now. It's a fun book. It's under the radar, but it's key. It is key. All right. It's not groundbreaking. It's not market shifting, but it is key and it's great. And I already talked about it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, why not? You know, Batman, Superman, World's Finest, 27. The Fifth Dimension Imps, they've all been introduced. I think 27 is going to introduce the main villain imp, the Might. Some people are saying Doom Might.
Oh my goodness.
Who knows? But yeah, this is the big one here.
This is
World's
so much
Finest
fun.
Annual 24. World's Finest number 26. 27 is the big hurrah. It's all the Fifth Dimension hero imps versus the villain imps. Just a massive brouhaha. Just a big Royal Rumble.
Wow.
It's a great read. Number
Can you
one.
name all of them?
No, don't want to.
Mark Waid's still getting it done 30 years later.
Oh, God, he's amazing. I see Penguin. I see Scarecrow. There's Cheetah. Yeah. Sinestro had... Oh, if you read 26, Sinestro whooped ass. Great stuff.
Nice.
Obviously, Joker. Metallo, looks like. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, no, seriously. Anyone who's been reading Waid and Mora's World's Finest, you already know it's awesome. This is and sometimes it's not even about like life changing. It's just about a great fun read, right? Just what comic books are all about.
Honestly, I've never been disappointed by Mark Waid.
Never.
For me, he's still done the best run of Flash ever. He's been such a writing force for so long that it's don't bet against him.
I want you to read this, and I want you to give me your take on it. Batman Gargoyle of Gotham.
The Rafael Grampa.
Oh my God, it's phenomenal. It's so good. It is so good. It's so good. I read it and I was like, oh shit, why aren't more people talking about this?
It's already considered one of the greatest stories in Gotham, set in Gotham, right? I mean, it's crazy.
You have Killing Joke, Dark Knight, those are the Pantheon greats. Then you have kind of like Vengeance of Bane, Hush. It's right around that area. Vengeance of Bane, Hush, kind of that area. Maybe not as prolific, but just right up under there in terms of dopeness. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's that good. All right, so let's do it.
I gotta read it.
Oh yeah, you have to. Your favorite part? Here we go. The rundown.
Let's run them back.
10. Yeah, run it back. Scarlet Witch relaunch. Beautiful Lozano cover. Scotty Young is doing big variants, single character variants, 150 sketch. Check it out. As always, Archie. Deadpool Archie is debuting. Pool Noodle. Archie's very own Deadpool character. Gorgeous Marquez 1 in 25 variant. Darth Maul number 2.
Damn.
Tom Taylor's Nightwing. When it's all said and done, this is going to be one of the great runs. I don't care what anybody says. Beautiful. Nightwing 114. Yeah, you need to be reading Josh Williamson's Superman. The Zarnians are alive and well. Superman and Lobo are supposed to be teaming up to take down Brainiac. That didn't work out. Also,
it was never going to.
No. This is Spider-Boy 7. This is the finale of his first solo series. That is a Raza variant, 1 in 25. Hobie Brown's just been killing it. Spider-Punk, Ghost Rider, Patrick Gleason with the epic variant cover.
Nobody rocks harder.
Dude, I already know. JT, if you're watching, I already know you're going to grab this.
He rocks so hard his face burst into flames.
Kanto, final part of the multi-saga. David Mack on the 110 variant.
Beautiful.
Turtles Alpha, prelude to their relaunch.
Get in at the start.
That's right. World's finest. Look, the fifth dimensional imps are being destroyed by a powerful demon imp. They dragged Superman and Batman to their world to help out. That didn't go well. It's just an all-out Royal Rumble. It's a great read. Highly entertaining.
Very fun.
There it is.
Thank you for the list, as always. Thank you for inviting me to share in the beauty of the list. That was great.
Yeah, it's always fun just to get a look at what's coming up. And I got to tell you, there's every week there's 3 or 4 books that just don't make it. They're still good to read, but top 10, man, it can only be 10. Yeah, there can only be 10.
You got to get your elbows out to get into that list.
By the way, this really brought out a great new villain, Patchwork Jack, for those who picked it up. I saw some people on Instagram that did grab a copy. I know they're happy. This is a great story. That was an awesome story, by the way.
You gave everybody the heads up on that.
Yeah, for sure. Look, people are sleeping. I'm sorry, man. Parker Robbins as Ghost Rider, dude, he is kicking so much ass. I feel like that should be bigger than it is, but this is the sneaky key. Everyone's going to find out later. I just won't shut up about it. Everyone's going to be like, oh, there's that, cameo. Oh, no one knew. I did. I keep telling you.
You're just trying to help people, just like me. You're just trying to help them out.
Hey, man, read that Gargoyle of Gotham.
All right. Let me know what platform I can do it on.
Yeah, I'll do that. Free Comic Book Day.
Yes.
Next weekend, May the 4th, Star Wars Day / Free Comic Book Day.
How many stores are you going to hit?
All of them.
All right. Well, I'll see you when you make your round up north.
Listen, I'm starting with the first store that I'm aware of here in Austin opens at 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And we're just going to work our way around. They all know I'm coming. We're just going to do our rounds, and we'll try to end up north. Maybe up at Dragon's Lair. That's up off of 183.
That's as far north as you go?
That's far enough for me, man. Shit. I'm way south Austin.
I was hoping to pull you up to Titan Moon.
Is that where's that, Cedar Park?
Yeah. I
can make it up there.
All right. Yeah. Let's meet up there. Yeah. We'll meet up there and have lunch at the Firehouse Subs.
Oh, dude, the Hook and Ladder. That's my favorite. Oh, my God.
All right. It's a date.
All right. Let's do it. Hey, thanks for everyone that joined us live. Full list comes out every Friday with all the details. Read the details, folks. I put it in the liner notes.
Read the show notes.
Yes, I put the detail. Someone DM'd me and is like, why is this book hot? I'm like, it's in the notes.
Read the show notes.
All right, man, let's get out of here.